programs, and welcome to what has apparently ended up becoming repaint week. So yeah, next three videos, all videos this week, are going to be repaint slash remold figures. And today we're going to go ahead and start with the least remolded of these figures that I have. We're going to go ahead and look at the Shattered Glass Shockwave Starscream, while I fight with my camera's autofocus and forget what things are called. But yeah, we have yet another version of the Siege Seeker mold. So just super fast right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and compare him with the standard Starscream release. As you can see, he does not have the the battle damage going on, which is nice. Very nice to have a clean version of this mold. Paint apps are quite different. Colors are different. And he's got an extra accessory in these swords. I just have these pegged right here where I normally would actually put the null rays. So let's go ahead and move the null rays now that I've popped out the sword. And we'll look at these a little bit more when we get to robot mode. But yeah, it's another of this mold. People really liked this mold, which I'm not going to lie. Yes, this is an absolutely fantastic mold. But it's nowhere near as, like, flawless and perfect as people make it out to be. Like, the way people swoon over this thing, I find funny, because they talk about it just being, like, the perfect Tetrajet in so many places I've seen. Are y'all missing the fact that the fake chest is literally visible from the front, and he's, square in the back? Like, again, don't get me wrong. Yes, this is a great figure. I love this mold. There's a reason I own so many versions of it. It's not perfect. No figure is perfect. But, usual rambliness aside, yes, I love these colors. These colors are great. Anyone who doesn't know, this is the Shattered Glass universe version of Starscream, where he's actually a good guy. Because all the, the Decepticons are good, but they're still Decepticons. It's not like they switched factions. Factions are the same, but what the faction stands for is different. So this is our heroic Decepticon Starscream. Looks fantastic. As always, the fake chest on the back. My Decepticon insignia is a little bit off center. The camera actually makes it more obvious that it's off center, which is funny. It's harder to tell when you look at it in real life, which it's always weird how that works out. But yeah, go ahead, transform this guy. Yet again, we have done this so many times on the channel. Not even going to bother trying to tell you guys how to do it. If you don't know how this mold works at this point, welcome to Transformers, because you must be new around here. Yeah, I'll throw up a link to my cavalcade of, million versions of this mold that I've already looked at. Although I will say one small addendum while we're here, and I'm getting little flecks of, like, the leftover molding plastic every time I transform this guy. I don't know if that's unique to this version of the mold, or I've just not noticed it from the duller colors on all the other versions I own. But I have actually discovered one thing I've been doing wrong with this, like, every version of this mold as I've been transforming it. That is, when you bring up the head, here, let's go ahead and finish his, get his waist spun around here really quick. Take that back in. When you bring the head up, I've been taking this panel and folding it, like, all the way into the hollow of the back. You actually just leave it out, and there's little grooves right here on the pillars that will slide into these tabs. Which... I forgot. Fold that down. Then these will all line up. I'm now lining up 4 tabs instead of just 2, which makes this a little bit more fun. There we go. And see if I can wedge my finger in here. This did not go completely straight. But yeah, this ends up sitting flat like that to fill in that little hole. So that's a thing that I missed, and it's a nice little touch, actually. A little bit more, you know, hollowness prevention. Always appreciated on things. Yeah, let's go ahead. Get his arms out. And there we have Shattered Glass Starscream in robot mode. This thing is stunning. I absolutely love the way this figure looks. And here's the thing. Me as a Starscream collector, I was originally going to pass this up because I'm frankly a little bit tired of this mold. I've got, you know, see, is it 8 versions of it now? I don't have the dead, you know, the Sparkless Seeker, because that thing, like, never even showed up in my area. So I'm missing one, but I've got, you know, every other version of this. I'm like, why do I need another one? Because it's beautiful. I love this thing. Yeah, not a lot to say. Colors are very different. He's got a white, you know, kind of gray stoic face, blue eyes, completely different colors. But it is still the Siege Seeker mold through and through. Tolerances on this figure are still great. Still has the little, you know, self-retracting calf fillers. It's awesome. Really quick here. Here he is alongside the Siege original version. So, as you can see, just everything is different, basically. I think the only paint app that stays the same is this little bit of red here in the front of the wing. And, like, you know, the placement of these color variations are in the same spot, but insane amount of differences on this guy. Poseability is just as great on this version as is every other version. Ball joint in the head, up and down, a little bit of tilt, rotation. Universal for the shoulders, arm goes out all the way, rotates all the way around. As you can see, the wings fold forward and back and outward. Joint I think I missed on the earlier video, but he does have a butterfly joint, so you can shift the shoulder back a little bit and forward quite a bit. Rotation at the waist. Kicks forward. Kicks back some when the backpack's not getting in the way. Can do the full splits. Rotation right there at the top of the thigh. If you push in the calf filler, full range of articulation on the knee. You can close and open up the 2 halves of the foot as needed. And he's got very stiff ankle tilt, but ankle tilt nonetheless. Really cool figure. And like I said earlier, we'll get back to this now. He does come with 2 swords. They are molded in blue, clear blue plastic, and then the red handles are painted on. So I am expecting that over the years, I will have to touch these up here and there. One of the handles you'll notice is a little bigger. That's because these swords are meant to peg together. And then he can hold it as one big sword. I'm assuming this is a Starsaber reference, because the Starsaber was awesome, and Starscream and Armada did have that for a long time. But you can go ahead, use the fact that the handle's a little bit longer on that one, let him hold this thing. It looks great. Do keep in mind that if you push this into his hand a little bit too far, it will just begin separating the sword. It's one of those things where I kind of wish they could have engineered it differently, but I do understand that it would have vastly altered how this works in general. Clearly, you can also just have him dual wield 2 different blades if you want. If you want him to go like that. Me, I prefer the one big one. Yeah, not a ton to say that I haven't already said about this mold, other than it's another of it. It's a really good version. I like the sword. I really like the colors. The fact it's a shattered glass, just relatively mainstream release is really cool. So, there you go. That is Shattered Glass Starscream. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.